Good morning. Um, so today I'm gonna do my gratitude garden, but I'm also going to be talking a lot about um, our sixth graders and our sixth grade families, and um, we just had promotion yesterday, and I tried talking a couple times and um, kept getting a little teary-eyed and kind of choked up, and so I was never able to really say what I wanted to say. And so, I mean, it has been a whirlwind of a year. And, I yesterday I have been, most people around the office know, like, I've been very anxious about yesterday. I've been trying to make sure everything went off well, and making sure that we could do as much as possible for the kids, and with the regulations. I mean, it's just changing all the time. Like, I mean, my ideas for promotion kept having to pivot and shift, and um, but thankfully they were changing in a good way, right? We were opening up. We were able to more normalize it, and actually, I think what we did yesterday. Um, Maybe something we continue. Everything just came together so perfectly. The weather, like when I was setting up yesterday, it was super hot. The bugs were crazy. But by the time promotion actually hit, the heat wasn't as bad. And actually, partway through promotion, the clouds covered up the sun, and it really cooled off. And the bugs weren't there. And it went so much better than I ever could have imagined. Much like this past school year, when the whole thing has just gone so well. Um, I really need to thank, our custodians. I don't think a lot of people know or truly understand how hard they work and how much they do for our kids and for me and for just our schools. They work so hard. I try to take as much off their plate as I can, because I know they have too much to do. So we had 225 chairs, and they were all on chair carts. And in the morning, we realized like a few days ago that the chair carts would not fit into the elevator. So instead of being able to roll all the chairs up to uh, the base of the field and then carry them over from there, we had to go take them off the carts, load them in the back of my truck, try to drive my truck up, take them out of the truck, and carry them up the hill and up into the field. And so we did that. We spent a good chunk of the morning doing that, and Rhonda helped me for the first half, and then Penny got here, and Penny helped me for the second half with Rhonda. Um, and that's some tiring work. It took a couple hours of just lugging those chairs, and then setting the chairs up. I spent a good chunk of the afternoon setting the chairs up, and Miss LaPerriere and Sue and Nikki like held down the fort in the school. I was setting stuff up, taking care, because the school was still in session. But I mean, I really wanted to make sure everything was perfect and set up and ready to go, and that we weren't running last minute. And so they were able to give me that time to do that, because of course I had an idea in my head about how the chairs needed to be set up, and it's one of those things where I just felt compelled to be meticulous and do it. And um, Mr. Boyd, I didn't ask him to throw a song together with the kids. That was something that he and the sixth grade teachers worked out, and he was more than willing to do. And given his year and all the restrictions, I mean, in the beginning of the year they weren't even allowed to have chorus, and so like he was able to throw that together with very little time, and the kids did phenomenal with their song, especially given how little time they had to work on it. And I mean, Mr. Boyd is musically so extraordinarily gifted, and he came out without me even asking yesterday while I'm setting up the chairs, and he set up all of the uh, the whole speaker system, everything. He hooked up the extension cords and got all of the speakers onto their stands, and like hooked all the wires up and made sure everything was working. And I didn't even have to ask him to do that. I mean, that's the kind of community we have. I mean, Mr. Boyd's only been here a year, right? This is his first year here, and he already has jumped in, fits in, and has just assimilated into our culture and our community here. And that's the kind of stuff people here do. Like, I didn't ask for that. He just did it, right? And took a load off my shoulders. And like that was something I was expecting to have to do. And he just took over and did it. And I was so incredibly appreciative of that. Then Miss Johnson and Mr. Hunter worked with those kids as much as possible and they did so great. I mean, they have not had the same opportunity to practice for promotion the way that kids in the past have, just because we didn't know what promotion was even really going to look like. And even yesterday, things changed. Like, I set the chairs up differently and threw them for a loop. And instead of having them in straight rows, I had it curved and things like that. And instead of having 5 rows, I had 4 rows. And I threw curveballs in there because I realized like doing the curvature kind of setup with the chairs would be probably a better idea because everyone would be closer. And it just kind of came to me at the last minute. And I mean, they were so flexible, and we realized because we've been talking about Miss LaPerriere and I getting slimed, and but it didn't dawn on us until yesterday that I wouldn't be able to announce the kids coming up, and that Mrs. Johnson and Mr. Hunter were going to have to kind of like step up a little bit there, and they did it without hesitation, without question, and I mean, it just everything just went so well. The kids were amazing. The speeches were amazing. For many of the speeches, it was the first time I had a chance to hear them. And listening to the kids sing and listening to their speeches. I mean, it got me obviously worked up to the point where I had trouble talking. I'm just so incredibly proud of these kids. They have endured so much between last year and this year. This is the second group that has come through where I've known them since kindergarten, because this is my 8th year, and it's such a cool feeling seeing these kids, and like I knew them when they were 5, right? And obviously some of them trickled in later in the years, but I mean I've known them since they were itty bitty. And they have come so far, like every one of them. They've evolved, they've grown, and it's just been a really cool thing to see. I came from a middle school background where like kids were in and out, 7th, 8th grade. I had them in 7th grade. They were there in 8th grade. They were gone. I did a lot of coaching with kids, but I mean, it was in and out, and like this job is so incredibly rewarding the longer I do it. And I was talking to some parents last night that I really can't see myself doing anything else. Having been able to stay in this job long enough to get to this point where like I'm seeing kids from 5 all the way up through 6th grade. Kindergarten through 6th grade. Like, it is such a cool thing to see and witness and feel. And then to have the seniors come through yesterday and walk through our building, and this is the second class, I believe, second or third class, where I know the seniors. They were here. They were, and what's neater as the years go on is I'm starting to hit groups of seniors where I knew them for a couple of years, and eventually I'm going to have known them for their entire elementary career, but I haven't gotten to that point in my career yet. And just seeing how much they've grown, and like it's a little weird. Like, this little kid, that used to be in this school, and then like the next time I, see them, all of a sudden, like, they've got a beard, like it's and they're all grown up, and I've got all kinds of stories that I could tell about these kiddos. So, and it's a really cool feeling to know that, like, we were part of, their story. Um, we got some really, we just, and when I say, like, I can't see myself doing anything else, I specifically mean not just administration, um, but it really is about this job here at Warren. Um, I have zero desire to go anywhere else because, this is my community, my staff, um, my colleagues. It's such a unique place. Um, I was telling Mr. Nolan when I had my end of year conference with him on Tuesday, and I was telling him, like, I trust my staff, and I know many administrators, not necessarily in this district, but I know a lot of administrators, and but I know by nature, as people, we don't trust other people, especially once we step up into leadership positions, right? Um, but I do, and I don't even question it, because I know they're gonna rise up. I know they're going to do well. Um, and it's when I look at the foundation of what makes any community work, what makes any community successful, and how you build strong communities. Um, there's a book called The Five Dysfunctions of a Team, and the first two primary foundational layers that are the most important, that I believe our building has, is one, it's trust, and two, it's conflict resolution. You have to be willing to address conflict and engage in conflict resolution and work through issues that come up. That's how you get stronger. That's how you build better bonds, and how you solidify that trust that you've developed. And that is something that we've been working really hard on. And I value every single person that comes into this building, and it's not, like I was saying yesterday, it's not just the kids, it's not just our staff who work incredibly hard, and I can't even begin to talk enough about how much they have been so flexible and so willing to pivot on a dime this year. But it's our community too. Like, it's the whole, it's the whole picture, right? Like, our community is amazing. When I reach out and ask you guys for feedback and ask you for opinions and ask you, your thoughts on things, like, you don't hesitate to respond, right? Like, this year, I was, going into the year going, like, we're gonna have to ask, like, 2/3 to 3/4 of our families to pick up and drop off. I don't know if they're gonna be able to do that, and you guys did it. Like, I don't know how you did it, but you did it. We've had to, and I know I was thinking about, we're going to have to probably quarantine people at some point, and that's going to be really frustrating because people need to work. But I mean, everybody was just like, no problem. No, we will figure it out. We understand, how many times our secretaries have to call home to people and, like, inquire about things or ask questions. I mean, everyone is always so incredibly kind to us, and understanding and supportive. How many messages we get, expressing gratitude, for the things that we do, and those keep us going. I mean, even just this morning, I came in and have 2 thank you cards on my desk. And, it's those little things like that, like, you don't get everywhere, right? It's just such a unique culture here, and it's something I want to continue to be part of, and something I want to continue to build on. And this is, I can't imagine doing anything else. And I just want to thank everybody, all the kids, all the families, all the staff, for everything that they do, and who make this job what it is. This year is winding down, and I'd have to say this has probably been the best year of my educational career, in terms of just feeling fulfilled, feeling happy, feeling having a sense of belonging. It just it's been a great year, and I am extraordinarily excited for what's to come. I have a couple things I'm hoping I get to talk about soon, and share with you guys about some ideas that I have for future years that I think will be really exciting for everybody. I think everybody will be excited about, and I can't wait to share that with you as long as everything works out. I still have to dot some I's and cross some T's to make sure that it's something that I can pursue and that we can pursue. But I am really excited about this staff who take the charge of building people, of building humans, so incredibly seriously. I kind of like this little thing I came up with the other day. We put kids before content, right? Yes, content is important, reading, math, etc. But everyone here truly has embraced this idea that the kids are what is important, not the content. It's about building confidence, about building perseverance. It's about building students who don't feel failure. It's about building kids who have positive mental health, who feel good about themselves, who are comfortable in their own skin. That is our priority. And if we can do that, these kids will go on to be successful and the content will come. And everyone here has taken that on, and it has really transformed this school over the last few years. And I appreciate that so much. I love the direction that we're heading, and I can't wait for the years to come as that continues to evolve and unfold in cool new ways. And education here at Warren continues to change in great ways. So I'm running up towards 17 minutes, so I'm going to cut this at this point. And thank you, everybody, again. And I will definitely tune in. I will definitely be coming back next week and with another Gratitude Garden. So I hope everyone has a wonderful week and a wonderful weekend and enjoy this weather that we're having. Thank you.